Hi, and welcome back to my channel. Today is day 7 of our 12 days of Christmas, and we're going to be talking about the 10 best gifts to give your employees. Number 1, the gift of latitude. Let your employees decide how to do their jobs. Within a few weeks on the job, they will know more about their jobs than you or their managers do. Let them put their own stamp on the job whenever possible. Number 2, the gift of self-leadership. Once you establish goals and put dates on them with your team's input, let your employees figure out how to hit the goals. Daily and weekly sub goals and yardsticks often do a better job of stressing people out than of helping them reach the big goals that really matter. Number 3, the gift of your attention. Very little is more frustrating to a hardworking employee than difficulty in getting the boss's time and attention. Make time to listen to your employees when they want to talk to you. It's much better to have them tell you when something isn't working than to have your customers inform you by leaving in droves. Number 4, the gift of respect. This actually should have been number 1. Ask your employees for their views before you enact new rules or procedures. Ask them for their ideas about any aspect of the business they care to comment on. Involve them in running the company, and they'll care more about it. Fight against the management mindset that most of us were taught as children, the one that says you can tell these folks what to do and they have to do it because you pay them. Number 5, the gift of boundaries. Put a mental wall around your employees' personal lives. Unless it's an emergency, leave them alone to enjoy their off-work hours. Can't stress that enough. If they're off the clock, leave them be unless it is an extreme emergency and it cannot wait until the next workday. Gotta learn that. Number 6, the gift of backing off. When you feel stressed out, your employees do as well. Be aware of your own tendency, as managers have it, to stress your employees out even further by writing them about whatever issue you're most worried about. Take a long walk or run up and down the stairs instead of standing over them fretting. Number 7, the gift of being human. Everybody gets frustrated at times, and so will you. Nobody expects you to be a saint, but when you lose your temper, apologize. When you're wrong, say, I was so wrong about that. Be human with your employees, and you will never regret it. I can't tell you how many times I wished the previous management at my job would have done more of that. You know, I'm not calling names, but one could be just as wrong as 2 left shoes, and she would never admit that she was wrong, ever. Needless to say, she's no longer working there, but I'm going to move on. Number 8, give the gift of flexibility. Anytime you have the opportunity to be flexible with an employee who needs a day off or some other small accommodation, or even a big one, take it. Nothing builds trust on your team more than your ability to bend and flex when their lives get crazy, and all lives do. Let me just say this. I have the best supervisor. She is so supportive, and she encourages all of us to do and be the best that we can be. If you're having an issue, you go and talk to her, and she's always accommodating. When my dad had gotten, well, we didn't know he was diabetic. His numbers are perfect now. He's off the insulin. His numbers are so low, it looked like he was never even diabetic. But that's a whole nother story. But anyway, when he was going through, I talked to her about it, and she said, let me know what I can do or if you need anything from me. And she allowed me to telework, because back then, I think we were only teleworking on an as needed basis. And she said, if you need to telework, which I did a couple of days a week for a couple of weeks, you know, so I could be at home with my dad and stuff, just to make sure everything was okay. She was accommodating. I love my supervisor, you guys. I really do. Number 9, the gift of awareness. Your employees do amazing things for you and your customers every day. So many that you couldn't count them all if you tried. Pay close attention so that you can see and hear about as many of these triumphs as possible and celebrate them. Number 10, the gift of trust. Take down any barriers to trust that exist in your organization. By talking openly about them. When you talk about sticky topics, your employees will trust you enough to bring up new sticky topics you didn't even know that they were dealing with. The sign of a trust-based organization is that everyone always talks about things that have to be addressed or problems you may encounter in the future. That's not complaining, it's organization building, and it's exactly what you want. And this is exactly what we have. Now, I'm in the federal government, but this is exactly what we have in my office. You know, we talk about everything. Sometimes we have to talk about those things that aren't so easy to talk about, but that's why we function and we gel so well together, because we talk about things, we care about one another, and we care about the work that we do, and most importantly, we care about our supervisor, and we care that she looks good in the eyes of upper management. So everybody unfortunately doesn't have that, but I'm still thankful that I did. So let's do a quick recap, and I can't even talk. A quick recap, and I promise I'll let you be. We talked about the 10 best gifts to give your employees. Number 1, the gift of latitude. The gift of self-leadership. The gift of your attention. Number 4, the gift of respect. That is huge, you guys. Number 5, the gift of boundaries. Number 6, the gift of backing off. The gift of being human. Number 8, the gift of flexibility. Number 9, the gift of awareness. And number 10, the gift of trust. That is so important. You've got to let your employees know that you trust them. Because if you don't, guess what? That work environment is going to be so toxic. And who wants that? So, that's all I have. Thank you so much for my newest subscribers. Thank you so much to those of you that continue to support me in all that I do. I love you guys to the moon and back. And I can't wait to share day 8's video with you. Until then, take care.